can clip out myself and sometimes share this because whenever um there's something that can benefit others, I like to share with others. uh so that's why it's important that nowadays, because of the market, the competition, so many people coming in the business, so many newbies out there, like, shoot, I expect the sellers that sometimes are like, I just spoke to someone who made me a crazy offer, 4% of my property value. And you gotta be able to analyze every case differently. One of the
Yeah.
things that I've done in my call center is I'm training everybody to become an acquisition manager, to become a lead
Hmm.
manager, because that's the challenge that we have. 90% of the sellers through cold calling, they will be asking you market value. So
Hmm.
it's just a matter of identifying who is really ready and has a situation that can work for us. That way, it makes your job easier to come and present an offer. Because if you already know straight off the table, your your caller already did have a deep conversation with the seller. Like, you can tell this person did the intro call, the follow up call in one. So you just prioritize your time onto the list that look promising. Like, it's okay to only, like, you as a closer work only 10 sellers out of 40, because your caller should be able to identify opportunities for you. That's why you pay them for. But it takes a lot of training, remove that mentality of just generating leads because I have to meet a number. So that's why I'm transitioning everybody to become acquisitions lead managers, because even if we do only call calling, I want to make sure that my client know what they're gonna be facing. There's people that does listing innovations. Gosh, not everybody's gonna fit in the same box. Every situation is different. Every motivation is not gonna be uh I'm bankrupt. Like, sometimes it's just convenience. Sometimes it's just I need out. Can be a sub to. So also, there's a lot of elements and factors that affect production and being more assertive, because probably you are more interested in cash deals, not innovations, no subject to, like, it depends, right? Both ways, the intro call and the follow-up calls, how things are going, like how deep they are going in the first call, like, are they doing follow-ups? Do you do the follow-ups yourself? Like, it just takes a lot of things to actually make it more efficient. So normally you have them call, you call them back to see if you can present an offer, or don't call back the ones that look overpriced.
Well, I call back once it looks decent enough because I already know the people. Like 90% of the time, the people ask for retail. It's crazy because I need to see if the property needs to repair. Certain people, the crazy part of me is I'm also a licensed agent too. So
Wow.
the people would do something. A recent comp may have sold for $350,000, and they want the same exact price, but they don't understand the fact. And I explained to them, hey, you may want that much, but this person has upgrades. Their property has been upgraded, but yours haven't. So you can't really demand that price, but you really can't tell the person that. And the other thing that I found interesting too, as well with the cold callers, they'll call the person they're interested in selling the property. But when they come to me and I call the person, the actual seller, they said, I'm not interested.
Mhm.
It's just weird. That ever happened to you guys?
Yeah, sellers, like, buyers are liars, but sellers are worse. That's what Pace Morby says. Yeah, it happens. That happens. So it's just adding a few more questions to the conversations. Like, okay, so I understand you're gonna need X amount of time, and it's perfect picture. So those are some of the things that we do right off the bat. And it is not because I'm a genius. It's just that I'm in so many mentorships. Like, I'm very very lucky to be in rooms where I see the A players doing this. So I just do everything that the A players are doing. RJ Bates, Brent Daniels. just take from here and there, and I build myself like I'm a transformer. And that's what it takes. That's why we pay mentorship. So we make sure that we know what top producers are doing on a daily basis. And I apply that, and sometimes just adding that one question. Okay, I understand you're gonna be asking X amount. You will be able to sell because you want to relocate, and just note taking, saying everything back to them, rehearsing them, and then saying, so just want to make sure that we're on the same page. If we were to present you an offer that is fair, that makes sense for both ends, and we can help you relocate in the next 2 months, are you ready to put pen to paper to make a decision today? Because it's also the timeline. Sometimes people is, yeah, I'm thinking of selling, but because you have someone on the phone telling you like, okay, we're gonna present to you an offer, and like in their mind, they're like, I may sell in the next 6 months, but if you give me a number, yeah, I will hear it. But like their mindset is not ready
Mm-hmm.
to sell.
Yeah.
So sometimes it takes that, repetitive question like, so you're saying that if we can help you achieve X and Y, we could meet to Z.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to make a decision? So that's something that may sound silly, and people will be like, why are you gonna ask that if they're having a conversation? Well, because you want a firm commitment. You want to make sure that this person really has intentions of selling now, because then my lead manager, my acquisitions manager are gonna be wasting their time. In order to know off the bat, and you will cut people off guard, like, no, look, I do want to sell, but I'm not sure I'm gonna be ready to make a decision right now. So that means it's not that the lead is bad. It just means that it's not the right timing. Like, that's why you need volume, because that way you don't get attached to one seller that says yes, and then sometimes we want a deal so bad that we try to put them together. Like, another thing, if you're a realtor, like, not everything is gonna fit in the cash deal, and
Right.
sometimes people is gonna be right there in the perfect spot for innovation.
Right.
So how good are you gonna be to explain the innovation process? Look, I know you want X amount for a cash, you will get X amount. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're willing to wait a little bit longer, we could get you that amount that you want. Like, it's all the value that you can bring to the seller. It's gonna be not only the price, it's gonna be their motivation, because I found myself like last year I had a great deal. It was gonna be like 50K, and the numbers made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the problem? Wife was not on the same page. That's why
Wow.
ever since then, okay, Mr. Rick, so you're telling me that if we can make this work today, are you ready to make it work? Like, is there anyone else who we should be speaking to in regards of making this decision?
Mm-hmm.
How about your wife? Is your wife on the same page? Have you guys discussed this? Ever since then, because lesson learned, and that's something that is just a process. So I know that you have your colors. I know that you just wanted to know a little bit more about the PPC program. So, but conversation leads to something else always. And I mean, so you're looking to add like another channel for your marketing, right?
Yes.
Okay. I saw the markets that you work. Those are great markets for PPC and Facebook ads. Actually, one of the most successful markets is Florida. To be completely honest, like that's like
And
the
that's
dream
where I am too.
market.
That's where I am.
Where,
I'm in Orlando.
shoot, Orlando it's just beautiful. I have a friend that she's a realtor. She only does listings. She's in love with those leads from Orlando. And Orlando's great because, I mean, all of the counties that you gave me, Orange County, Polk County, Seminole County,
Yeah. Those are
uh,
like legitimately counties that my buyers buy from. There's one particular buyer that closes in about a week, and she does not play. And like, she likes anything by the water, condos. for a decent price, especially in Daytona. And she loves the Winter Garden area because that's where she lives. So she always asks me. Ever since I had the most sweetest deal for her. I don't mean to deviate from the conversation. I helped her with two properties where I made about almost 40K, and she made about 100 something plus thousand after fixing
Awesome.
them up and selling them.
Yeah. Yep. And I've seen you over the years. Like, this is not the first time we talk. I know you have experience, you are a realtor, you understand your numbers. I know that if we put you in front of a deal, you're not gonna lose it. You
It's
just need
gone.
volume.
Trust me, it is gone. If I
Yeah.
can get a good deal, it's gone.
And the benefit that you being a realtor is because shoot, it doesn't work for a cash deal. You talk to your
Yeah.
buyer, you have a relationship. You can tell her, look, pay me a buyer's commission, and like you can accommodate yourself so many ways. Having
Right.
a real estate license is a plus nowadays. Like
Right.
you can just paint it the way you want. Of course, you're gonna have to work because the outlets doesn't mean that are like super easy. It's just that people is more ready to sell. It's like
Right.
you still have to work. So before we talk about all of the stuff, let me show you what I'm doing on my own business so you can visualize how you're gonna need to work the leads. Let me log in. Very simple. I was having issues with the website this morning. Hopefully it opens right. Because that's another thing. You can have a gold mine coming to you every month, but how are you really working these leads makes a difference. Let me
Right.
just put it. And it helps that I'm an integrator myself. You know, one of the amazing things that I learned from Pace Morby and the mentorship was who are you as an avatar? I love the phones. I love talking to sellers. I believe I posted a couple of very solid calls that I got. One call to contract and from call leads. It's just that the call leads takes a little bit longer to convert than,
Mhm.
the ad sellers. And I understood I'm a visionary, but I'm also an integrator, which makes
Mhm.
me more complete. So everybody who is inquiring about ads, probably you want to hear about the leads right away. Like, what do I do? How does it work? How much is it? But I always take them through the CRM process because if you don't have a process, you are gonna just be wasting money. So because I'm just a Christ believer, I cannot just avoid the rough conversation with people. It gotta,
Yeah,
it gotta
I'm a
come through
believer.
this.
I'm a
So,
believer just like you.
for instance, there's 190 leads in the last 7 days. That comes from different
Wow.
markets, different partners. Like we are doing different sequences, and this is just a dashboard because just a dashboard is gonna give you a better idea of how we work the leads. You have
Mhm.
190 leads that are not on drip because are new. So once we call the seller, don't pick up, we leave voicemail, send a text, and put it in a drip. What does the drip does? The drips takes that lead that wants to voicemail and start putting my acquisitions and lead managers a task daily
Mhm.
for the next 10 days to call that lead for the next 10-15 days, and then it starts putting a task in a round robin, like every three every two every 3 days, every 2 days. That way, because we have so much volume from cold calling, we don't do SMS campaigns, mostly from cold calling and the ads. That way I make
Mhm.
sure that even the leads from last month are being touched. I have like 4 or 5 acquisitions managers. I make sure that they all touches the leads every 2, every 3, and I put them like this, like in a round robin. Now, if you are one person, you can just duplicate the system and start doing your task. You get
Mhm.
newest leads that you haven't been able to connect. You can call them daily, 2 times a day. You can have the machine, the CRM, automate the task for you. A drip campaign,
Mhm.
send a text, came from website, uh, a reminder to call this lead today. You call, no answer, you left voicemail every time. Next day, same for the next 15 days. There are sellers that they signed up on the website, and let me explain this. They signed up on the form and they got you to call them, they picked up. And 2 weeks later, a week later, they call you back. And I heard your voicemail. Yeah, I was on vacation. So you
Mm.
see, that's why you having a structure is gonna take you far away in this business. So
Right.
from here you see that there's 63 leads that has not been contacted for were added to the drip campaign. The machine does everything. Then contact made, appointment set. Appointment sets can be you spoke to the person, made an offer, or you're gonna go see the property, or you have your buyer going to see the property. There's 5 leads
Hmm.
that are already on contract doing due diligences. There's under contract one this week, warm sellers. So your pipeline, this is how your pipeline needs to look. Now there's gonna be 62 leads that in the bucket because that they signed up on a web form doesn't ensure you that they're gonna sell. So what do I consider that? That to me is you're overpriced and not motivated.
Hmm.
So I don't waste my time. I put you on that and I put you on a drip campaign for the
Hmm.
next 2 years. I will call you back in 2 months, every month, every two
Hmm.
months, until we reach 2 years before I
Yeah.
trash you. So
Yeah.
that's how it works. You just need volume so you don't get attached to 60
Yeah.
leads that are not gonna do anything for you right now.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. Um, I don't know if you have a CRM of your own, how you work your leads.
Hmm.
That's very important. That's why I share screen always because you are just one person and there's no way with the thousand different ways that you have to look at every day that you also are gonna remember or have filings that I haven't called.
Hmm.
And that way you know where your money is at.
Right.
So
Definitely.
what can you tell
I
me
think
about your operation and the way you're running it?
my operation is trash because I don't really have no CRM. I don't have one. I was supposed to structure it some time ago. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I was supposed to be far along, but made mistakes, crazy mistakes where didn't make the right financial decisions. So I'm starting back from zero again. So currently, right now, I just went back to some old leads from last year, and I happen to find some where I'm actually gonna close on soon, sometime this month. So then I'm telling myself, so I need to get in touch with you so that I can just, you know, go to the next level with my business and put some structure in place with it.
Yeah, I will help you. Like I will definitely do it, and that will not cost you extra. I can tell you get this CRM. Um, okay, I will structure everything in the back end for you and have the leads comes to you. You
Hmm.
have two options. You can either call the leads yourself, receive all of the volume of the leads yourself, call them, or you can just have someone of our team that are already trained just touching your leads on a daily basis. You can still call them, but you're gonna have an extra help
Hmm.
and have them set up appointments for you.
Right. See, that's something that I like. I appreciate that right there,
Yeah,
having them set up appointments for me.
yeah,
So, also, yeah, yeah, I definitely would want that.
yeah. So it really depends the volume that you want because I mean these markets you can get 200 leads monthly. Really, those markets that you work are hot. People are selling homes every month like crazy and they desperately looking for help. It just
Hmm.
depends on your budget. So for
Yeah.
instance, since you're doing calling, I will post a calling. I will post what you have going on just because
Hmm.
by now you already need more traction and this can
Yeah.
ensure your volume. On the cold calling, the thing is you can have it to accompany like an accompanyship for what you already have going on to have leads that probably are not still looking to sell, but you are touching them before time. And
Hmm.
you can have something like the PPCs bringing you the flow. Like we can ensure you 30, 40 leads monthly. It depends on your budget.